Hey everybody, welcome back to my channel. Welcome if you're new. My name is Mercedes. In today's video I have a new collection from Red Eyed Lacquer to share with you all. It is a five-piece collection inspired by Pokemon. Now I'm not sure if there's like a new episodes or if there's like something ongoing and running with Pokemon. I think there is. I'm not sure. I used to watch it as a kid, so I'm familiar with some of the characters and things. I have two little boys and one of them loves Pokemon, so it's kind of like nostalgia, like brings me back to when I was a kid. I used to collect cards and all of that stuff. But yes, all of these polishes come in different finishes, different colors and shades. So there's something in here for everybody. This collection will be released on June 21st on the Red Eyed Lacquer website. I'll make sure to link their website down below and anything else you may need to know about the collection. So let's get into these swatches. First up we have Nickit, and this one is described as a burnt red brown jelly with black flakies. Such a simple explanation of this polish, but it is so beautiful because I love my burnt red brown shades. I did some swatching of a previous collection and it was a burnt brownish burgundy maroon shade, and I don't know, I love them. I think they look fantastic on me and on a lot of other people too. But as you can see, this one is a bit more on the sheer side, but typical of a jelly, so I'm not surprised. It built up beautifully in 3 coats. I think long or short nails, 3 coats is going to work best for you. With long nails, potentially seeing a little bit of nail line. I mean, you have a lot of black flakies in there, so it could cover up some of that visible nail line, but you may have some peeking through depending on how prominent really your smile line is. But isn't this such a beautiful color? I'm a sucker for these shades. I'm a sucker for black flakies. You put those together and it's just automatically, I'm gonna love it. But I love the plump juiciness that this one has. And that's why I do prefer sometimes wearing jelly polishes, especially if I can get them to a sort of more fullish coverage, opacity, intensity level, just because of that juiciness and that plumpness. Just something about like a juicy nail, just like a glossy juicy nail. Like you can definitely get it with like your glossy top coat, but not like you can get them when you wear like a reflective glitter with your glitter smoother, or if you have a jelly polish or acrylic and you just apply that glossy top coat and just gives you that extra plump effect. I love those sort of like finishes, or I guess, yeah, that finished look, not finishes, but finished look. This one is beautiful nonetheless. Pictured are 3 coats of Nickit with a glossy top coat. Here we have Pikachu, and this one is described as a yellow crelly with black and red flakes. And I feel like even if you haven't watched Pokemon, I feel like everybody's just gonna know the inspiration because it's Pikachu, so like you have to know, right? But another beautiful plump finish again. This one is more on the curlier side, so not as sheer as the previous polish. I built this one up in 2 coats. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats is gonna work best for you. I thought it was fine on 2 coats for me. It still gave me that beautiful pale yellow background, and gave way to those beautiful flakies. So I feel like you see so many more different colors, but really it's black and red flakies. For some reason, maybe it's just playing tricks to my eyes. Could be because the flakies look like they are various shapes and sizes, or maybe just because they don't lay evenly across the nail, if that makes sense. Like they disperse all along, and not that they like build up in certain areas and cause like patchy flaky areas. They just, it gives it this, it's hard to describe, not messy look, but just like a rugged look. And I personally like that because I feel like it gives depth and dimension to the nail. I mean, you can probably get the flakies all even throughout if you really tried, but I love how it just disperses as you're painting and then it just lays wherever it wants to. I think it really adds more character to the polish itself for the finish. Pictured are 2 coats of Pikachu with a glossy top coat. Next up we have Stuffle, and I think I'm saying that right. It's been a while since I watched Pokemon, so If I'm not pronouncing it right, just let me know. But this one is described as a maroon base with pinkish purple gold shifting shimmer. So not like the Crellies we saw earlier, the jelly formula. This one is a very different finish, and I'm all for it. I built this one up in 3 coats just to really deepen up that base color. I think long or short nails, 3 coats will work best for you. I'm loving the beautiful purple pinkish gold shifting shimmer. I feel like it makes it look so rich and regal. I love how the maroon base still peeks in from the beautiful shifty shimmer. You can see it along the perimeters of my nails, and it really gives it those shadows and that mysterious look. But the pink and the purple and the gold shimmer just brighten it all up. Definitely a beautiful polish for the winter time, for the fall. I mean, you can definitely wear it in the summer. There's no rules with polish, right? But I always associate colors and finishes, sometimes finishes, mostly colors with seasons. I think if you wanted to wear this in the summer, it would definitely be appropriate because of that beautiful pink purple glow. Then if you wanted to wear it in the fall, just reminds me of, like, obviously not leaves changing because there's no pink leaves, but it gives me that transitional vibe, right? Because fall, autumn, you have all the colors of you have all your like very pigmented colors and your fall flowers and just leaves changing. And then the winter time, if you wanted to wear some sort of like pop of color to get away from like your darker vampy shades. So definitely an all year round polish in my eyes, but for me, I'd wear this one in the fall. Pictured are 2 coats of Stuffle with a glossy top, 3 coats of Stuffle with a glossy top coat. Next up we have Squirtle, and this one is described as a mint green Crelly with gold shimmer. So majority of the time when I swatch a polish, I don't read any descriptions. I swatch, have my impressions, and then I'll read the description afterwards, which is sometimes why I don't know if a polish is magnetic and have to go back in again. And you think I learned my lesson, but I don't. But I didn't even think of mint as being part of this formulation. But now looking at it, I can definitely see the mint base with like the mint base. I can see the mint base. But the gold shimmer takes over that, like 100%. Like I said, you can see the mint base, the inspiration. You can see it from within, but it's just, that gold shimmer is beautiful, and it just takes over. It's definitely the star of the show. This one is a gorgeous polish. The formula was actually fantastic for such a light shade. I built it up in 2 coats. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats, is just going to depend on your polishing and your preference and all of that. But definitely a glowy polish. Beautiful. It's going to be beautiful if you use this as a pedicure too. Pictured are 2 coats of a Squirtle with a glossy top coat. Next up we have Gengar, and this one is described as a dusty purple Crelly with red shifting shimmer. So my purple polish lovers, you're going to love this one. Formula was fantastic, definitely on the Crelly side, but it builds up beautifully, and you will reach opacity in either 2 to 3 coats, depending on polishing styles and your nail line. I built this one up in 2 coats, and I thought it was perfect I was obsessed with this formula. Like, look how even it applied. There was no running, there was no pulling, like no streakiness, nothing. And that beautiful red shifting shimmer looks stunning in this purple base. Even though it is described as a dusty shade, I feel like it's still very vibrant. Definitely a polish for summertime as well. I think on the nails, on the toes, this would look fantastic. I feel like this is a sort of polish that you want to match, right? I don't usually match pedicure and manicure. I always have different colors on my hands and nails, like on my hands and feet. I never usually match. Usually on the feet, it's either some sort of like neutralish shade or something super bright. But I feel like this one, if you pair them together on the toes and the nails, I don't know, it will look nice. I think this is definitely spring summer appropriate. Again, just beautiful. The shimmer is so glowy, stunning shade. Pictured are 2 coats of Gengar with a glossy top coat. Here we have Eevee, and this one is described as a beige Crelly with pink, orange, green shifting shimmer and hollow flakes. Now, you know I love myself some hollow flakes. And I love this one, okay? Nude polishes and me we don't really mix. I like darks, I like brights, but if you throw some hollow in there, some shifty shimmer, it's gonna be my sort of neutral. This is definitely my sort of neutral. Formula was fantastic. I built it up in 2 coats for being such a light shade and being acrylic. That's pretty impressive in my eyes. I think long or short nails, 2 to 3 coats is gonna be best for you, depending on preference and nail line. But the shimmer in here is stunning, and I definitely see the pink and the orange. It's not like it's so intense that it's going to take away from that beige base or the hollow flakies, but it's just enough to give it that beautiful shift and give it a nice, touch to the polish. Pictured are 2 coats of Eevee with a glossy top coat. All right, a few standouts for me. I actually have 3 of them. The first one being Nickit. Like I said, I love these sorts of brown, red brick brown sort of shades. I think they look really good on me and a lot of other people too. And then of course there's black flakies, and I love black flakies. Even though this took 3 coats to build up to opacity, it is a jelly, so I mean, it is what it is, right? That's just how the formula is. But even with the 3 coats, it built up beautifully and gave you that wonderful finish. Next one being Eevee, and I already mentioned this, the hollow flakies in here. I'm not a neutral polish wearer. I don't really wear neutral polishes, but when you add things like this or components in like this, like a shifty shimmer or hollow flakies in, more than likely I will fall in love with it, and I did fall in love with this one. And then of course Pikachu, because one, just the name and the inspiration, like you gotta love Pikachu, right? And then honestly, just the curly formula, the black and the red flakies in here, even though they're just red and black flakies, I don't know, something about it, maybe it's the different sizes, the different shapes or whatever it is, but something about it is just special. Just one, the name in itself is just nostalgic to me, brings me back memories as a kid. Beautiful. All right, that is all that I have for you today. Let me know if you plan on picking up this collection or maybe a select few of these polishes, if there's any meaning behind the Pokemon collection or the characters themselves. Thank you again, and I'll see you in my next one.